Running a business isn't easy. So many decisions, tons of paperwork. But having the right tools can help save time.
Ankur, can you take a quick look?
Editing at the last minute, summarizing with AI Assistant, and password protecting it before sharing.
Oof.
With Acrobat, it's all sorted.
Hey, how's that New Year's resolution going?
What are you talking about?
You know, that YouTube channel you say you're gonna start?
Well, yeah, I'd like to, but editing's really hard, and coming up with a thumbnail stresses me out, and thinking of content ideas.
I don't do any of that. I use TubeBuddy.
Tube what?
TubeBuddy. It does everything for you. SEO optimization, helps you with your thumbnail, video topic planner.
Well, I have ideas.
Yeah, but TubeBuddy gives you niche insights, which means that they know which topics actually get views. And get this, TubeBuddy's related video manager allows me to link my videos across all of my shorts instantly.
But
Instantly. TubeBuddy has everything. It helps creators like you start your YouTube channel and stay consistent so you can actually follow through on your New Year's resolution.
wow, this is so awesome. I had no idea that TubeBuddy existed. I'm gonna go try it today.
Welcome to Huberman Lab Essentials, where we revisit past episodes for the most potent and actionable science-based tools for mental health, physical health, and performance. My name is Andrew Huberman, and I'm a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford School of Medicine. Today we're talking about neural plasticity, which is this incredible feature of our nervous systems that allows it to change in response to experience. Neuroplasticity is arguably one of the most important aspects of our biology. It holds the promise for each and all of us to think differently, to learn new things, to forget painful experiences, and to essentially adapt to anything that life brings us by becoming better. So let's get started. Most people are familiar with the word neural plasticity, which is the brain and nervous system's ability to change itself. All of us were born with a nervous system that isn't just capable of change, but was designed to change. When we enter the world, our nervous system is primed for learning. The brain and nervous system of a baby is wired very crudely. The connections are not precise. And we can see evidence of that in the fact that babies are kind of flopping there like a kind of a little potato bug with limbs. They can't really do much in terms of coordinated movement. They certainly can't speak, and they can't really do anything with precision. So I want you to imagine in your mind that when you were brought into this world, you were essentially a widely connected web of connections that was really poor at doing any one thing. And that through your experience, what you were exposed to by your parents or other caretakers, through your social interactions, through your thoughts, through the languages that you learned, through the places you traveled or didn't travel, your nervous system became customized to your unique experience. Now, that's true for certain parts of your brain that are involved in what we call representations of the outside world. A lot of your brain is designed to represent the visual world, or represent the auditory world, or represent the gallery of smells that are possible in the world. However, there are aspects of your nervous system that were designed not to be plastic. They were wired so that plasticity or changes in those circuits is very unlikely. Those circuits include things like the ones that control your heartbeat, the ones that control your breathing, the ones that control your digestion. And thank goodness that those circuits were set up that way, because you want those circuits to be extremely reliable. So many nervous system features like digestion and breathing and heart rate are hard to change. Other aspects of our nervous system are actually quite easy to change. And one of the great gifts of childhood, adolescence, and young adulthood is that we can learn through almost passive experience. We don't have to focus that hard in order to learn new things. And then after age 25, if we want to change those connections, those superhighways of connectivity, we have to engage in some very specific processes. And those processes, as we'll soon learn, are gated, meaning you can't just decide to change your brain. You actually have to go through a series of steps to change your internal state in ways that will allow you to change your brain. Many of us
Have you been sitting on a smart business idea and need to get it online? GoDaddy makes it fast and easy with user-friendly products and tools to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. Plus, get AI to help build your business for you with the all-new GoDaddy Aero experience. Start for free at GoDaddy.com.
Get everything you need to succeed online with the Hostinger Monsoon Season Sale. Web hosting plans now start at just ₹139 a month. Host multiple websites, plus get a domain name and extra months for free. Get 24/7 expert support and try Hostinger risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Join more than 4 million people who are making their dreams a reality online. Go to hostinger.com/in and launch your website today.
Many of us have been captivated by the stories in the popular press about the addition of new neurons. This idea, if you go running or you exercise, your brain actually makes new neurons. Well, I'm going to give you the bad news, which is that after puberty, the human brain and nervous system adds very few, if any, new neurons. So even though we can't add new neurons throughout our lifespan, at least not in very great numbers, it's clear that we can change our nervous system, that the nervous system is available for change, that if we create the right set of circumstances in our brain, chemical circumstances, and if we create the right environmental circumstances around us, our nervous system will shift into a mode in which change isn't just possible, but it's probable. As I mentioned before, the hallmark of the child nervous system is change. It wants to change. One of the ways in which we can all get plasticity at any stage throughout the lifespan is through deficits and impairments in what we call our sensory apparatus, our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouth. In individuals that are blind from birth, the so-called occipital cortex, the visual cortex in the back, becomes overtaken by hearing. The neurons there will start to respond to sounds as well as braille touch. And actually, there's one particularly tragic incident where a woman who was blind since birth, and because of neuroimaging studies, we knew her visual cortex was no longer visual. It was responsible for braille reading and for hearing. She had a stroke that actually took out most of the function of her visual cortex. So then she was blind. She couldn't braille read or hear. She did recover some aspect of function. Now, most people, they don't end up in that highly unfortunate situation. And what we know is that, for instance, blind people who use their visual cortex for braille reading and for hearing have much better auditory acuity and touch acuity, meaning they can sense things with their fingers and they can sense things with their hearing that typical sighted folks wouldn't be able to. In fact, you will find a much greater incidence of perfect pitch in people that are blind. And that tells us that the brain, and in particular this area we call the neocortex, which is the outer part, is really designed to be a map of our own individual experience. So these, what I call experiments of impairment